Mark, aka the Ministry Dude, coming to you live from Livingston, Tennessee. Hope everyone's having a great day. I'm still waiting for the insurance guy to get here so I can get this tree off my house that's laying across it and laying across my camper and my poked a hole in my roof. Well, I'll tell you what, you don't pay them, boy. They just cut you right off completely quick. But when it comes to them coming out to you, paying out some money, yeah, they got that. They got them high pockets, is what we used to call it. People with high pockets, cheap people, high pockets. Yeah, I know they've got a lot of other ones too, but I hope it don't rain because I got a hole in my roof. Roof, as I sometimes say, roof. What do you mean roof? Yeah, I'm a dog. I'll bite you. Ah. So we're gonna make we're gonna talk a little bit about healthy heart because I had a heart attack recently. I know I talk about this every day, but I can't emphasize it enough. Get your heart checked. Eat healthier. We've been eating healthier. I'll tell you what a difference it made, especially when they put them two stents in my heart. But just the change in the lifestyle of eating healthier. And I go to the doctors next week, and then I start a heart healthy exercise program they got for me. They'll show me, what exercises I can do, how and what to eat. Rehabilitate. Yeah, I'm going to be rehabilitated. That's right, rehabilitated. So I've got that to look forward. I'll keep you updated on that stuff. Just kind of the stuff that they have us doing like that because I want everybody. Did you know that heart disease is the number one killer in the world? It is because people just don't eat right. These companies that make this food and like that, they just put all this stuff. I got these. I'm not going to say where I got these meals from, but I got these home delivered meals through my insurance company. It was free. They provide that after you have a heart attack. They provide it, and we got reading the ingredients on it. And I'm telling you what, this would make a healthy man kind of choke up. You know what I mean? The sodium levels and cholesterol levels in these foods are really high. I'm surprised, like 700 milligrams of sodium. That's a lot. 100, what is it? How much is something like 50, 75 uh, cholesterol, milligrams of cholesterol? It was a lot. Well, yeah, 180 milligrams of cholesterol, and you're allowed 100 or 200 a day. That's a lot. And they're not big meals either. They're little, I mean, even an ant could eat that and still be hungry. You know what I mean? So, well, anyways, let's get into through the Bible, shall we? But I can't specify this enough. Get your heart checked, and get your health checked because it's serious. March 6th, 2025. Leviticus 16:20. Ceremonial law offerings for the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement occurred once annually, roughly corresponding to October 10th. It took in willful sins and those of ignorance as well. To the sensitive person who was well aware of his sins, a year of waiting to atone for those must have seemed like an eternity. Today, you and I have no year long wait. We may enter into the presence of God as soon as we are aware of our wrongdoing, and we should. What a relief to the sensitive hearted person. Leviticus 17:1. The regulations of not consuming the blood of an animal have dietary implications, but its main intent concern worship. The practice of many forms of false worship include the drinking of blood. Satanic forms of worship usually lead in that direction even today. Ooh, drinking blood? That's gross. Yeah, I've seen that. One time I was watching, what was it, Law and Order, about these people that drank blood. It was really eerie. I mean, I've never really tried it, so I don't know. It just seems kind of gross to me, but whatever. John, listen to this one. John 6:66. Many turned back from following Jesus. The text here says nothing about people going back to a life of sin. It is simply that these followers relapsed. They just quit following. They perhaps went back to perfectly respectable lives, but they were not following Jesus. Many people like this are in church today. You notice that? The verse 666. I wonder if that's where that comes from, not following Jesus, turning away from Jesus, but still going to church. Hypocrites. There's a lot of them. I've been to several churches where, you see people like that. But I'm not going to mention any names or any churches or anything. What they do is their business. I choose to follow Jesus. My family chooses to follow Jesus. And that's our business. Okay, here we go. Mark 7:6. This is a good example of how the Pharisees added to the law. As you have been reading about instructions for offering in your Old Testament readings, you may have noticed that most of these observances of the Pharisees are now nowhere to be found. As good as their traditions may appear to have been, they were not given God as part of the law. The Pharisees added them to the law and gave them the same force as the law. Just like politicians today, they make all these laws and everything, trying to govern the people, but their laws really, all we need 10 laws, the 10 commandments. That's all we really need. I mean, the 10 commandments says it all, really. But yet, there's thousands of laws on it. How many? I can't remember one time. There's 17,000 laws or something on it. It's a ridiculous amount of laws. Because, people sin and they've got to make a law to protect that. And then they make a law to protect that and they got to make a law to protect. It's like a snowball effect. Then they make a law to protect that and a law to protect this and a law to protect that. And the next thing you know, boom. Sin 101. You know what I mean? All right, we're going to conclude with this. We're better divided by truth than united in error. Adrian P. Rogers said that. Well, thanks everyone for watching. This is Mark, aka the Ministry Dude. Don't forget to check out the links I got by the video. So we'll see you again tomorrow with another reading from Through the Bible. Thank you, and don't forget to pick up a copy of Through the Bible. You can read the whole day's reading. Thank you, and have a blessed one.